Hey guys, I'll give everybody a minute or two to get in here. If you're coming. If not, that's okay too. Let's see. We can just do that so I don't have to hold it the whole time. So how are y'all doing today? Morning, morning, morning. It's been a few days since I went live. Hey Annette. Hey Cats. Hey Kathy. Hope everyone's doing good this morning. Hello, it's just me. So glad to see everyone in here. I had 2 courts this morning, so my divorce is final. Yay, raised the roof after 3 years of fighting in court. So glad to see all that finally over. And a speeding ticket. I get to do driving school for that. And $135 for the driving school. But it doesn't go on my record, so if I do the driving school. So I guess that's a pretty good deal. Because it was like a speeding ticket. He said I run the red light, which I didn't. And a no seatbelt ticket. And I was guilty of not wearing a seatbelt. I did do that. So, in someone else's chat, I seen Andrew Hilt say, the preacher was there with H. Then, Dudley Ajan says Jose was there. Then Fred Hill says that Andrew Hiltz was there with Andrew's cousin Shannon, or Shanna, whatever her last name is. So it kind of equates to a bunch of he said, she said bullshit. Who to believe? And I am like totally sickened and disappointed to see some of my subs over there listening and subbing to Andrew Hiltz. That is one of the most disgusting individuals that I have ever seen in my life. And since somebody threatened to call CPS on him, I've seen on Facebook to where now he's trying to find his brother-in-law somewhere to live because all of them people are living in a 2-bedroom apartment with all those kids. I hate the way he talks to those kids. Those kids don't look much better took care of than the Wells kids. I'm not going to get into the symbolism or what he is or what he might be or any of that stuff. But we have seen on those kids on Facebook the shaved heads, the dirty faces, the overcrowding in the living space, the yelling at him while he's on YouTube. And why has he come forward anyway? Why is he only now coming forward? When did he come forward? I'll tell you when he come forward. He come forward when the video dropped of his son saying it was Andy to Chris McDonough. That's when he came forward. So my question would be why? Why did that scare him bad enough to come forward? And it certainly was not to take up for his son. Or to take up for his friend. Because the accusations towards Jose has been there since day one. The accusations towards his son has been there since day one. Nothing new. So something drove him to come forward. And I think it was to bring a distraction away from the Andy situation. Exactly. It's to distract us from something. But when this other creator had him hemmed up, he kept saying over and over that the preacher was there and his son was there. I don't know if there's any truth in that or not. But would the preacher have went there to confront Candace about a possible affair? Had he seen something that he shouldn't have seen? We seem to have people that can find out who was in jail, where, and when. So why can't we find out if Jose was in fact in jail in Tennessee and was released around the time that Summer disappeared? That should be a fact that we could prove pretty easy, right? Hey, instead of letting that rumor just fly around out there, you would think that somebody would try and put that to rest. And it makes you wonder if I believe the Sweetie Pie Low interview with Dudley Ajan was 100% authentic and the truth. It makes you wonder if maybe some cash wasn't slid under the table for him to say some things that may not have been the whole truth in that second Heels on the Ground interview. Because those are the same people that goes and pulls all these police reports. So why haven't they been to pull those police reports to in fact find out whether that's true or not, since it was told to them? Just like him saying that the boys said Don and Candace walked out of the house carrying Summer and put her in the vehicle and left. I've never heard that story before, ever. If you've heard that story before Dudley told it to Heels on the Ground, put a 1 in the chat. If you haven't, put a 2. There you go. Now, Jody Sue did say that she would not tell what the boys told her that day. She hates Heels on the Ground. So do you think that she would tell them and not tell somebody else? Okay, Annette. So I don't think that this is what the boys told Jody Sue. And then Jody Sue told Dudley, or Jody Sue told Heels on the Ground. That's one thing that I don't think Jody Sue has even shared with the police. Right. You know, I was getting all kind of messages this past week. Oh, we need a video. We need a video. We miss you. We miss you. Well, every time I picked up YouTube, it was just the same thing. And it was like all the videos were basically about the same thing. And I just couldn't. My soul just didn't have it in it. You know, I really want to do this for the right reasons. And I don't want to put out there what 20 other people has already put out. it's like, how many of us have been in a domestic violence situation? I'll raise my hand. I have been. I'm no longer a victim, but I'm a survivor. Could you imagine having the police at your house and then the next day or the day after turning on the TV and that being broadcast to your neighbors and into your community, to your friends, to your family, and worst of all, to your abuser? And more times than not, that is going to start another episode of violence. And it's already evident that law enforcement has no intentions of helping either one of them. And they're leaving them up there in guns, with guns. In my last video, I posted a picture of 2 different guns that's propped up in the window. And both of them are illegal guns that they're not supposed to have. And if Granda's called the police and they did not know the police were coming, that means the guns were still propped in the window when the police arrived. And the police were very much aware of the illegal guns that they knew that they were not supposed to have. They are going to allow somebody to get killed up there one way or the other. And in doing so, cover up whatever has happened to this 5-year-old baby. They have violated the Tennessee state law by not separating them. They have violated federal law by not separating them. And they have violated the laws set forth by the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. And somebody's going to die up there. And the best that they can do for these people is broadcast it into the community to make matters even worse. It was broadcast into the community. I know that I seen it on at least 4 different news channels. I'm sure that the radio stations picked it up. And then I seen several creators pick the story up. And make a news story out of it. And I prayed all day long yesterday that somebody up there did not get shot and killed. Because once that happens, we will never, ever recover that baby's body. If something does happen to, say, Candace, whatever happened to Summer dies with her. Well, state law says that they were supposed to be separated. And the EMS report seemed to disagree with the deputy. The EMS report says yes, her finger or her thumb was stopped. Her thumb was injured. It doesn't go on to say what the EMS said about her neck. It is. It's sad and toxic. And like I said, we've all been a victim, and like I said, just imagine during our victimization, had that happened to us, had it been broadcast. Man, I've seen it in my local paper and it be humiliating enough, where the police was out, just in the weekly reports, where they had been out to my address and my husband arrested for domestic violence. That would be humiliating enough without it being on the news and YouTube and Facebook and ugh, that's bad, because I'm sure that started a whole other fight. So what do we know about this girl that was staying up there before Summer disappeared? That's evidently related to Andrew. Does anybody know anything about her? Has anybody done a reverse Google search? I don't know how to do that. Well, I don't use Google for one. Fred Hill said her name was Shanna Collins or something. And she's the girl that was cut out of the picture when they all took the picture on top of the hills. Benny Keys, Robin, Grandis, Cam and Allie, and she had been staying up there. And she's a mod or something on Benny's channel. She goes by Shannon S. How long had she been living up there? Now, Fred Hill said she had been living up there, if he's to be believed. Right, Sky? What about Andrew Hiltz being there before Summer disappeared? You reckon he was there to pick up Jose? That's all I can figure is if there was any truth about Jose being there, that Andrew might be there to pick him up. Something fishy about Lawson because he don't seem to be doing anything. Nothing. Yes, I see him, Teresa. That's what I'm doing now, is reading my chat. I don't know. And Jody Sue, look, I watched one of her videos this morning, and she seems to be slipping into a deep depression, trying to figure out why they're trying to frame a man that she has spent the last 7 months telling us how bad he is. I'm like, girl, you spent 7 months trying to tell us how bad this man is. But yet, he's not capable. Right, there's something fishy about him driving back to New York the same day. That goes back to my theory of they dropped off drugs and they dropped off Jose to stay and collect the money for drugs. The fight broke out and occurred. Jose got dumped. They had 6 months to pay the money back. The money was not paid back in an ample amount of time. Was not paid back in 6 months. So, they come a knocking for payback or the kid. And who's to say that some of Andy's drugs wasn't coming out of New York too? Instead of Washington, D.C. Or the money wasn't borrowed from Andy to pay back. Absolutely, they do. Especially Grandis. You think she practices Wiccan? What makes you think that? She certainly acts like something for sure. If y'all are enjoying my videos, feel free to drop a super chat. It's that time of the month that all the bills will be falling due on the what you call it, the subscriptions and stuff. And I hate to even mention it, but at least I don't blow smoke up y'all's butts and tell you, oh, but it's a what do you call it, 501c3. It's a nonprofit organization. It's all this good stuff. And then it not be there when you actually get ready to do your taxes. No, there's white Wiccan and there's black Wiccan from what I understand. Well, you would think that Jody Sue's a little old to even think that witchcraft would work. I thought that, witchcraft would be for like these real young kids that's too young to realize that stuff don't even work. I mean, I've always been told all my life, if you don't believe in it, it doesn't work. It's like voodoo. I was raised in New Orleans. Um, or not raised there, but I lived there for a long time. And I was always told, if you don't believe in it, the spells hold no power. So I've always chose not to believe in it. I think there's differences in like folk healers and witchcraft because herbs can heal people. I believe that. I have seen herbs heal people. But this, oh, you're hexed bullshit, you're crossed. I don't go for, I don't buy into it. I'm gonna put a banana peel under your bed and then you're gonna slip and fall after a while. Nah, don't buy it. Oh, she's got a filthy mouth. Oh, yeah, I am tired. I got in the bed late and then I got up at 6:30 this morning to get ready for court. Well, so I choose just not to believe it because I was told, you have to believe it works for it to have an effect on you. Right. Happy divorce day. Absolutely. He said, you can get married again in 60 days. And I said, I wouldn't get married again in 60 years. No way. This last marriage broke me mentally. I don't know if I'll ever be right again mentally. Maybe one day. Well, this is my second. I've always heard third was a charm, but I'm not going to go for the third. The last 2 years that we was married, I don't think that man ever called me by my name. Ever. He called me something ugly every time he yelled for me. He treats people like Molly Golightly treats people. She would be a perfect match for him. The way she belittles people and talks down to them, and yep, that's why I cannot watch her. So anyway, what are we thinking, guys? Are we thinking all this is just a distraction? That Dudley said that um, Andrew said, and I cannot get over how many people have subbed to that man. That blows my mind. I haven't checked out Timber Falls. But I've noticed that about YouTube, it seems like the more disgusting and outrageous you are, the more people want to watch you. And I don't understand that. That people don't want to hear reasoning. People don't want to hear a reasonable point of view. They want to see disgusting outrageousness. And I don't understand that. Yeah, I clicked on one of his videos called The Ritual. And by the time you read everything he put on the screen, it was a type of spell that he was doing. And if you read the whole thing, then that's what he had done to you. And I was like, holy fuck. And people are still going back to his page. Disgusting. And I know that in a small bedroom apartment, it's at least him his girlfriend, his brother-in-law, and all those kids. 4 kids. In that small, small apartment. Alright, guys, my battery's going down, so y'all go check out some of what I told you to check out. See where we're at today, and let me know if y'all think it's just all distraction or if it's just all noise or what you think. But it's making me tired. Because one thing about it, it's not getting us any closer to summer. And that's where I want to be, is closer to summer. And all this noise is not getting us there. So, right, Sherry. All the world's a stage. And they are dang sure using it. And law enforcement is letting them for some reason. But I don't know, Heather. When are they just going to separate them and question them real good? That would be a start. Just to separate them and question them. And then start questioning some of these outside players. That would be a start. You know? And it's going to be funny to see some of these people get arrested for interfering in an investigation. Right. And I've said that for months. That all these pictures are not summer. So we've got too many summers out there. And that's another thing. Andrew will not let those kids in front of the camera. Why not? Show your kids, Andrew. Show every one of them that's in that house. Are you scared to? But anyway, I'll see you guys on the flip side. Love you.